Okay, welcome to overthinking session. I am overthinking for sure. But before we get into that topic, I'm going to talk about MBTI first, okay? So years ago, I don't care about MBTI. Like I just don't want to check it. I just don't care. But months ago, actually, I'm curious about my MBTI. And I kind of like checked my MBTI and I checked for like three times, and it shows the same answer. So it says my MBTI is INTJT, and I searched what is INTJT people, and it says, hold on, I'm gonna read it for you. INTJT is introvert, intuitive, thinking, judging, turbulent. Okay, I don't know if I pronounce it right or not, but turbulent. So if I think about it, am I introvert? I mean, I could say that because I love being alone. Like I love being alone. But if I have to like socialize with people, like I mean, I could. A lot of people were saying like I'm a pretty fun person to hang out with. Like I just need more like energy to socialize. I don't know why. It's just like tiring. So I could say myself introvert. And second, it says intuitive. It says future possibility. Like always think about future. Like for example, this is like the easiest example. Okay, you wanna like go to a grocery store, and before you go to a grocery store, you just think about like what to buy in the grocery store. You just already write that down. Like you already have a plan to do what you're gonna do in the future. So that is kind of the point actually. I mean, I could say that's true because like I just love if I did everything right on time. I just love it. Okay, for example, I always like write everything down, like what to do in a day. For example, okay, wake up 10 a.m. and then 10:15 I'm gonna wash my retainer. And 10:30 I eat breakfast, okay? And I already think how long it takes for me to finish my breakfast. And I'm just gonna write like 11 a.m., okay? 11 a.m. doing this. At 11:30 a.m. doing this. 1 p.m. doing this. Like I always like love write everything down, and even a small detail like this, the time or something. And if I write everything right, I just love the way it feels. I just feel like, oh my God, it's perfect. It's right. Like, I don't know. I just love it. But for some reason, if I don't, okay, for example, I predict that doing this will take like 10 minutes, but it actually took like maybe like 15 minutes. Okay. And then somehow I will be like, oh my God, that is so annoying, you know? But if it actually takes 10 minutes, like right on time, I will be like really happy. Like somehow I just feel like really happy. I don't know why, but yeah, I always think about future, like what to do. And a second, it says thinking. Dude, obviously, I think all the time. So that's why I'm like overthinking. I'm still overthinking about the past things I've done like years ago. And it says judging. It says prefer structure, planning, and control, and feeling frustrated by disorganization. Actually, that's true. I just talk about it. And it says turbulent. What is that? It says experience more stress, seeks perfection, and can be sensitive to criticism. Wait, drive to growth, but also anxiety. I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like INTJT is my MBTI. It's really true. Like, it's just really me. Oh my God. It says INTJT is tend to struggle with overworking, self-doubt, overthinking, and it says I crave success, a peace of mind, freedom, innovation. Okay, enough of MBTI, okay? That's enough. Speaking of overthinking, we finally get into this topic, overthinking. Yes, I'm overthinking, and I'm gonna tell you why. Every detail is very important for me. Every memory is very important for me. And I want to give you a little example of overthinking, how overthinking I am. Every time I go to the bathroom, even in my own bathroom, in my own house bathroom, I always overthinking like, dude, what if someone put camera in this bathroom, like a very small camera that I cannot see it, like because it's just too small. What if someone put it in my bathroom? Like I always like check around, even though it's in my own room. I always like check it. Like somehow I just feel like, dude, what if someone put cameras in here? You know what I mean? Like what I mean by someone who is like working, who's like building this house. I was like thinking like, what if someone who built this house put like camera behind the wall or something? Like I don't know. I just always like overthinking about that, which is weird. But dude, especially in a public bathroom, like you don't know if someone put like cameras in a public bathroom. I was like check around the bathroom before I pee, and I'm pretty detailed about it. And every time there's like a hole or something in the wall, I always like check it out. I always like take a look of it closer and kind of like see if there's any like light, like red dot light. Because if there's like camera, there's always like lights, like little lights from the camera. But I always like check around in the public bathroom. But yeah, that's how overthinking I am. And a small thing that I want to tell you about my overthinking is about tissue. Okay. For example, you are not example, this is real. I go to like public bathroom and there's like tissue, okay? And after you pee, you have to use tissue and shit. You have to use the tissue, okay? But I always don't use like the first tissue, the first sheet of the tissue. I always like put it in the garbage. I always use the second or the third tissue. Because in my mind, the first tissue, like I don't know if someone like put like a gem or someone put like something dangerous in the first tissue. Like someone spray on it, like spray on something chemical or something dangerous. And I always like think about that. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to use like first tissue. Like that is just like scary for me. I was overthinking like, oh my god, what if someone like spray on something dangerous or something chemical or something that makes you, it's just bad for you. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like put the first tissue in the garbage. I don't want to use it. I always like use the second or the third tissue, honestly, because I overthinking about it. And dude, even in my own house, every time I want to like go to the bathroom, I always use the second tissue or the third tissue because I overthinking about it. Like, oh my god, what if someone like have like a dirty hands or something? They kind of like take tissue from the tissue place, and their hand is kind of like living gem in the first tissue, like the first layer of the tissue. Like I was overthinking about that. So yeah. And the next thing about overthinking, I always think about like the past experience or the past things that happened before, especially a weird one. Honestly, I just never forget about it. Like I always think about it. For example, someone said something weird to you. Like I still think about it until now. I still remember all the things that people said to me that I feel that is weird or people's judgment. I was like think about it, but I don't. Okay, listen, I think about it, but I don't care about it. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like, damn, that is weird. Like they are weird. Like I just think about that. So yeah. Dude, when I was like 12, there's like someone who said like weird stuff for me. I mean, to me. And I still think about it. I still feel like that is weird. And I just still think like, dude, why did you say that with a 12 years old girl? You know what I mean? Okay, anyway. So we talked about MBTI before. And in my MBTI, it says I have like the introvert. Speaking of introvert, I'm gonna talk about my experience in a billiard place in Bali, and the name is Pro Billiard Series. So it's a huge company of billiard. I met someone who is friendly over there, like very friendly, honestly, and he is a billiard player as well. He is Shane Van Boning's best friend. And the first day, we talked for like a couple of minutes, honestly, just a couple of minutes, just like, hi, how are you? Where are you from? Whatever, The second day later, I was just like watching someone's like playing billiard, okay? And then he just like stood beside me and I was like, oh, hi. And then he was like, hi, how are you? He is really friendly, like really friendly. And I was like, yeah, I'm good, whatever. And then he was asking, how old are you, by the way? And I was like, take a guess. And he was like, nah, it's hard to guess Asians' age. You guys always looks young, but you guys is actually not. And I was like, oh my god, just take a guess. And he was like, no, it's impossible. And I was like, come on, just take a guess. And it's funny because he was saying like 13. And I was like, what? 13? No. And he was like, older or younger? And I was like, older. 15? And I was like, no, I'm 20. And he was like, what? No way you're 20. You're lying. And I was like, no, I'm not lying. I'm actually 20. And he was like, no, you're actually lying. Right? And I was like, no, I'm not. Once he knew I'm 20, he got more like interest of like talking to me, which is funny. But he immediately went beside me and sat beside me. He sat beside me and we kind of like talked. We talked for like, I don't know, like an hour or even more. I forgot. But just talk about billiard, talk about everything, honestly. And then it's really funny because he was like, okay, let's take a picture together. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he took a picture of us and then he immediately posted on Facebook and he was like, what's your Facebook? Because he was wanted to like tag me in the post. I was like, I don't think I have Facebook. And he was like, huh? Why? Why not? And I was like, I mostly use Instagram. And to be fair, I feel like most of people use Facebook. They are more like the old people. And I kind of like laugh along with it. Like he laughed so hard. And I immediately checked and I was like, okay, let me check if I have Facebook. And I download Facebook and I log into my email. And I honestly have Facebook. I just forgot that it exists. And I was like, oh, I honestly have Facebook. I just forgot I already have the account. And then he posted the picture of me and him. He was like so sweet, honestly. His name is Nick De Leon. He's very friendly and very kind. I had fun talk to him. After we finished watching the billiard, we went to another billiard, which is like the beside of the place. He was like, okay, we're gonna watch that billiard later, okay? And I was like, okay, sure. He sat there first. And surprisingly, he saved a seat for me. We kind of like separated because like I wanted to talk to another billiard player. We separated and I talked to the billiard player that I was admire and I was like, hi, I have something for you. And I gave her a gift and whatever. And we talked for like maybe like 20 minutes. We talked a lot. That is like really fun. And then I went back to Nick De Leon. He was waving at me. Okay, so I was looking for him, okay? And he was waving at me. And he was like, come here. And I sat beside him again. We watched Shane Van Boening versus another billiard player. He was sat left beside me. And there's another pool player that sat right beside me. And this woman is pretty, like, I could say, like, extrovert as well. She's a mom, okay? And then she was asking, like, are you alone in here? And I was like, yeah, I am. And then she was asking, like, how old are you? Or kind of like, she's very friendly woman. And after the billiard tournament finished, all of us are just separated. And the next day later, this person that I was admire, she is about to leave. She is about to like went to another tournament tomorrow. So her flight is tomorrow. So I'm like, oh shit, I have to like try to spend time with this person that I was admire for the last time. And I text her. I was like, can I meet you again for the last time? And he was like, for sure. Of course. Let's meet. I have something for you too. I have a gift for you. And I was like, oh my God, let's go. Let's meet. And then we met and we talked for like at least 40 minutes or something. And it was a long conversation. It was a good conversation. And then I head back to the tournament place. And then I met this woman again that I was saying like very, very friendly. She was asking, okay, is there any place that is very close from here? I was just recommend a place. And I was like, oh, there's a place. It just took like 5 minutes from here. She was like, oh, really? Okay, I'm going to that place. And I was like, are you going alone? She was like, yeah, I'm going alone because my friends went home already because they lose already. And I was like, oh, do you want me to go with you? And she was like, oh my God, do you want it? Of course, come with me. And I was like, okay. Let's go. It went great. We spent time together. I was telling her I'm honestly kind of like the introvert type of person. Honestly, I forced myself to talk to the billiard player because I just think about like they don't come here often and this is like my last chance to talk to them. But it honestly went well. And she was like, really? You just looks like very, very easy to socialize with people. And I was like, yeah, but she was like, no, but yeah, you have to like talk to people more because you are a very, very easy person to talk with. Like you're just very good with starting conversation and stuff. And I was like, yeah. She was like, nah, you are very good at it. You are very nice and friendly. And I was like, Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, I don't know why, but I feel like I have like this socialize battery. I don't know why, but okay, for example, you went out with someone, okay, with people like maybe like 5 people, and then I just go with them for maybe like a couple of hours, and somehow I will feel like exhausted. I was like, okay, guys, I have to like go to the bathroom, and then I go to the bathroom and kind of like sigh. I sigh. Wait, that's weird. How do I pronounce it? Sign? No, it's not sign. I psych. Fuck. SIGN. Wait, no. SIGH. I kind of like, this is tiring. This is exhausted. I am exhausted because I feel like, I don't know, like I just feel like I need more energy to socialize. But a lot of people are saying I'm good at socializing. I can start conversation. I just can be like friendly with people. I just can make people like me. But just saying it needs like energy to do that. Dude, I have like a lot of things to talk about. In this episode, it's just like, overthinking session and just my experience in a beer place. I feel like my podcast is kind of like 10 minutes long or 15 minutes type of podcast. I saw like a lot of people have like a 30 minutes podcast or even like an hour podcast. Maybe I could, but there's gonna be like a lot of topic. To be fair, I have like a lot of topics to talk about, but I don't want to like talk about the topic in one podcast because it's really like random and I don't know, it's just weird. So yeah, I'm gonna end this episode and I'm gonna see you guys in the next episode. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Bye.